How you doing, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Wicked New England. Tried to catch them off their guard there. These guys were on their phones in between episodes.
It didn't really work.
But this week we're going to do a movie review
He
for
thinks
you.
we don't hear the beep.
Oh, the beep's pretty loud. That's okay. But joined as always by my co-hosts.
John?
Anthony?
Okay. And this week we're going to be reviewing Thanksgiving. This will be the Thanksgiving podcast episode, even though we're filming it now in October. But I just had the guys watch this a couple weeks ago. They'd actually never seen it before. It was their first time watching it. And I just love horror, so it gives me an excuse to watch it again. So, yeah, let's talk about it. So what do you guys think? Overall tone. Before we get into ratings, anything like that, I got a few questions. Just overall
you know
tone.
what? It was more like I don't know if what you did. I know what you did last summer with Across the Screen.
Yeah, man.
It kind of had that. It kind of had that vibe to it to me.
Had the MTV,
which I didn't mind. It had enough, a little bit of comedy aspect. It had enough of the horror and gore, and it actually suited for the purpose of entertainment.
It was fun.
I think what I liked was that it was a very dated movie, but it worked for the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes when you have a very dated movie, it doesn't really translate very well later on. I think it really worked for this one. I think it worked. Overall, I mean,
you like it?
Pretty good movie.
We'll get into ratings, but I mean, overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it.
So overall, I say I think we all enjoyed it. I know I did. I mean, I bought it. I spent the money to buy it. But also, it takes place in Plymouth, Mass.
Woo!
Fun fact, pretty awesome. Because we're from here and everything. It's Wicked New England, so why not review a movie about a place in New England?
Yep.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask you guys was, what was your favorite kill? Spoilers, folks. Sorry.
I was going to say, do we want to give spoilers?
The movie's been out for 2 years now. I think spoilers are okay.
It's really been that 2 years?
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning, yes. And I will put that on the screen. But your favorite kill specifically, if you can remember which one stuck out the most, what's the one for you? If you want, I'll go first.
I already know mine. So
okay.
If you want to go first.
My personal one, I gotta say, is probably the evil stepmom in the oven. I loved the buttering up, and putting her in there, the little paper things on the toes, if you will. That was kind of crazy. And you get that extra little image of the thermometer popping. You know what I mean? That she's done. The little touches, that's what makes a movie.
Although, was she really done? Because most of those thermometer poppers that come already with the turkey, they're usually already popped long before the turkey's actually
We'll assume it was accurate and it popped at...
I doubt it.
What was it? Internal temperature of 160?
I'm going to go ahead and agree with
I doubt it.
Anthony.
Let's face it.
I don't think she was done yet.
I don't think she was done yet.
Okay. Well,
I think he was smart.
Killing my dreams.
I think the killer was smart enough to leave her in there to make sure she was fricasseed.
Okay, fair enough.
Safe to eat.
Moving on.
It's important.
What's your guys' favorite kills?
John?
I would say mallet to the head at the end there. That was wild.
Okay.
The reason why it's my favorite kill is because he was saying puns the whole time. So
yeah.
I liked that.
I mean,
that was my favorite kill because of the puns going alongside it.
How about you?
I honestly agree with the mother in the oven. I would. I'm sorry. That was probably one of the most interesting ones to watch.
Well, think about that.
Of course, there was another one. There was one other one, and it was one that I wasn't quite expecting.
It's probably my honorable mention.
It was
next, but
it was the parade.
Oh no!
The random axe that chopped off the turkey's head, and
that was good
in front of the kids of all. That was unexpected. That was one of those shock values. You were not expecting to see that. So I would actually definitely say that would rank up there with the mother in the oven.
Fair enough. And back to the mother of the oven, too. I mean, think about it. How many times in a horror movie have you seen somebody get set on fire? A lot. It's pretty commonplace. How many times have you seen one roasted in the oven in the fashion of, a Thanksgiving turkey?
Very often.
So points for originality on that. I'll give them that.
The film had a lot of originality for the methods of
100%.
kills. And you know what? You got to give it to the mother to begin with. I mean, she kind of went through a little bit of torture.
But she was evil.
Beforehand.
The scene
She
leading up to
she
it,
was
she really
cold-hearted.
made the kill better.
Yeah,
she was-
that's why I think
I was glad to
it
watch
was
her
worth
die.
it.
I mean, I think
That's
that
crazy.
I was glad to watch her die.
No, I don't.
And
think
I
was
can't
glad
remember
to
the
watch it,
actress's
but
Dude,
name.
it was-
She hid the security footage. She was the reason. Like, I mean, come on.
I can't
Okay.
remember the actress's name though, but she played in a lot of other different things too. I believe she played in Battlestar Galactica, the reboot.
I think it was Turkey number 5 in the credits. One thing else I'd like to mention, if we're talking about kills in this movie, is probably my favorite moment of the whole movie. The thing that made me laugh the hardest but smile the hardest, okay, if you could do that during a death scene, is probably after the guy gets killed in his kitchen and the killer takes the time to feed his cat. Yeah, so I mean, petting a cat after you go and kill the owner is just kind of wild, right? I mean, like, he just took the time to bed down, give it a little pat and a shake on the head.
He did the right move.
He did the right move.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
you know, and honestly, he kind of saved the owner probably, like, the likelihood of not having an open casket, because we all know that cat would have ate him with an extended period of
True.
time with no food source.
But didn't he take the head?
That's different. You can get a model. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, we're going to keep moving on. But, you know, another cool kill I got to bring up, you know, and this one's pretty basic. It's nothing like outside of the box creative. But being underneath the trampoline,
Oh yeah,
the cheerleader doing the
Ooh.
splits and the knife just...
Oh,
that was crazy.
Yeah, just keep in mind she was doing a split when she got stabbed initially.
that was the first one.
Ooh. Ouch! I'm a guy and that still hurts.
Anyway,
Ugh.
a lot of honorable mentions can come from this film because it was a lot of interesting, creative
The
ways
opening scene, you know
to kill
what?
people.
People always
Yeah.
tell me about the best opening scene in a horror movie, and you know what? I'll be honest. I'm getting tired of people telling me it's Ghost Ship. I feel like, you know what? Ghost Ship was great, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
This one was great. This is right on par. Okay,
Phenomenal.
the Stampede, Black Friday. You know what I'm talking about if you've been out shopping.
And
the day
unfortunately,
after
that's kind of stuff's actually happened, which is the scary thing.
Well, a few people that subscribe to this channel who are friends of mine will know from personal times out with me. I actually got claws drug across my skin and my rib cage and like actually drew blood all over some pillows, folks. We were diving into the tote. This lady comes over, literally ripped me like apart with her like fake claws, dude. I elbowed her in the back of the face
Oh my
coming out of the tote. She dropped like a sack of bricks. I took off with the pillows. Okay, sometimes you just gotta hold your ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right?
which, in my review, which we're gonna get to when we rate it, that's actually the first part that I mentioned.
Okay.
Is that opening scene? That opening scene was phenomenal. I thought
Alright,
it was
well,
great.
So keeping the same rating system as we did our god awful pickle chips, which you folks will have seen that episode by the time this one comes out.
I believe they've probably already seen that episode. I thought that was already out.
Nope,
No?
nope, not yet. Nope, that's coming out. But Andrew hates pickle. So does Anthony.
Yeah,
You'll see just how much
I, loved
I
it.
hate pickle.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
John Chips pickle. This guy.
Don't
But
Pickle chips.
we'll use the same rating system. So we're half points and scale of 10.
Yep.
10 being the best.
Yep.
Okay, and just like we did with the chips, where like I think it was a rating of 5 means you'd buy another bag. Rating of 5 means you'd watch the movie again for a second view. Okay, so we'll keep it right that. We'll just go around the room.
I think you guys should go first because I have.
You know,
Alright.
I'll say 8.5. I'll
Okay.
say 8.5. It was an awesome movie to begin with. Do I feel a need to watch it again? Not really.
Okay.
I'm not really a horror person to begin with, but it was interesting. It was unique, and it had that particular style which would lead me to watch that style of horror again. I've always been a fan of like the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies as well as the Scream movies.
Have you seen the more
So-
recent Scream movies too? Did you get a chance to watch
I only
six?
saw like the last like hour of that movie,
Okay, yeah. 'cause
and I
Part
happened to
6 is
stumble
actually pretty
across
good.
it. So I
I
mean,
liked it.
even though they kind of get a little bit lame the longer they go, I'm kind of curious and interested in seeing the latest I Know What You Did Last Summer that is still
That'll
in
be coming out.
negotiations.
Yeah. Next
But
year.
overall, I would give it an 8.5. I would definitely put it on a watch list for anybody that loves any action horror movies or even just for the dramatization of the films.
Yeah, and sticking with that, so my rating, I think, I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it just a half point above Anthony's there. And for me, like, overall, I probably give the rating pretty much the same, like the 8.5. I'm going to give it that extra half point, because it takes place in Plymouth. It is Massachusetts, so I think it gets extra points because it takes place in an area close to where I live. I got to give it points for creativity. The story actually flowed. There wasn't a point in that where I felt that it was dragging on. That's a big thing for me. I hate it when movies just kind of get stuck in second gear, kind of. You're just like, that's when you start to do that whole doze off thing.
And it did give you a lot of thought of it. It made you play that guessing game. Who is it?
It did, but I'm going to ruin that right now because I'm going to tell you who the killer is, and that's another reason why I rated the movie as high as I did.
I called it out in the beginning.
We said spoilers, okay? But Patrick Dempsey, all right, I am a fan of Grey's Anatomy, okay? It's one of my favorite shows. I watch that with my girlfriend all the time. We've gone through the series at least 4 times, I think. God, we've seen George die so many times, it's ridiculous. But, yeah, man, just seeing him, go from, Grey's Anatomy to that, to being, like, the killer, it's just, it's kind of wild. Makes you appreciate his range as an actor, for sure. And he actually pulls off the New England accent really well, considering he's not actually from here. So
yeah, he does.
That I thought was great. That he did a good job at that. So
it was good.
Moving on, I'm going to keep it at a 9, and I'll give you to John.
So, per usual, I have my rating. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Still respectable. 7 still respectable.
Still respectable.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite Thanksgiving movie. That still goes to Spider-Man 1 by Sam Raimi.
Okay, well, hold on. Wait. Huh? No. There's nothing wrong with that. And I agree. It's a Thanksgiving movie. But is it fair to put it in with all Thanksgiving movies? Because it would not be my favorite Thanksgiving movie either, but it's my favorite holiday horror movie.
That doesn't affect the score.
Okay.
That's just more of...
Fair enough. No, that's fine. But for the record, my favorite Thanksgiving movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, John Candy and Steve Martin.
So, as someone who worked retail, the beginning of this movie was like a nightmare.
John worked at Target, I worked at Walmart.
Yeah.
Blue vest versus red.
Love the mass hole setting. I like how...
It's got to throw us out like that.
I love how the way the main characters think truly reflects how high schoolers would act in the situation, where they would want to go straight to who they think the killer is. And I thought that was perfect. Their whole mindset.
Kids are dumb.
It was believable. I thought that was awesome.
We were dumb when we were kids. That's how it goes.
That's exactly that's how
it goes.
This movie is very dated, which helps and doesn't hinder the story. I find the high school killing scene not believable because of the modern dating of the movie. However, the twist of the killer was definitely interesting. The callback to Jessica knowing how to load the flintlock gun was awesome. And overall, it was a creative movie that had some fun with the horror genre. That was my full review.
I like his clinical notes.
I have my notes app where I just rate all the movies that I watch. Consequently, I don't know if we're going to go into this at all, but my lowest score has dropped from a 5.5 to a 3.5. One of the more recent movies that I watched officially broke the score for the lowest score I have on
John,
this.
I will show you a movie that you will rate a 1.
I don't really want to waste my time like that, respectfully. However,
what film was this?
Date movie. It's trash.
Oh, okay.
Like, even if you like parody movies, like scary movies, stuff like that, those had some merit. It was funny moments and stuff like that. Date movie was horrible.
Was that the one with Steve Carell?
What movie is this?
It's not memorable, so I can't tell you for sure.
Regardless.
But it was
that'll
horrible.
Be a fun one for a different day where we can probably make a movie a podcast just making fun of it.
That would be great. Actually, that
fun.
would be pretty fun.
Maybe for April, we could do an April Fool's.
There is an April Fool's Day horror movie. Just saying.
Yeah, there is.
We'll see whose month it is to choose. We've been rotating on who chooses the movie, and so we're having fun with that.
If I overpower them, my opinion is greater, regardless of if it's right or not.
I've had some good choices in films.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, they all have. That's actually just a callback to a private conversation between me and John. But On that note, I think I'm going to kill this one. Let's stick a fork in it, call the turkey done, and move on. Folks, since you are seeing this on Thanksgiving, enjoy your turkey. If you're eating that sort of thing, if you're vegetarian, whatever, don't care. Enjoy the holiday with friends, family, whatever it is you do for a tradition. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, so thank you. We appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you so much, guys.
Happy
Bye, guys.
Thanksgiving.